So let's do a direct comparison between LinkDM and ManyChat. I'm going to go over all the inclusions and the features and talk to you about each of them separately so you can make an informed decision. For those of you who are not tech savvy, I wanted to first start behind the scenes and show you the different canvases, okay? So when we are in LinkDM, we can set up very easily, and the same in ManyChat, you can set up a single flow to a single post, meaning I posted this post on Instagram. So for example, I did this post this morning on Instagram. I can click here, I can set up the automation software. Now, if you come into ManyChat, it is a little bit more difficult. You have to come to automation. You have to either have a template or you have to have some kind of, going through the process. So it's a lot more difficult just to start a automation in ManyChat as quick as possible. Now, this here is a flow. Now, ManyChat allows you to set up on a single message, stories, that kind of stuff, and LinkDM does the same. So you can set it up on a single story. When you start to coming into wanting to use more advanced features, so for instance, you want a keyword, like for me, it's tech. When people comment tech, it automatically sends off an automation, whether that automation has a setup, whether that post has an automation set up on it, or someone just comments it randomly on any of my posts, it sets up a comment that goes to them. So that's called a universal trigger. And in ManyChat, it looks like this. So the ability to send the post no matter what happens, send a story, etc. Now in LinkDM, it's really simple, because if I have the same keyword, as you can see, these are standard keywords that I use across my platforms. This here, it automatically just sets everything up for me. Whereas with ManyChat, I have to have a setup for Facebook, and I have to have a setup for Instagram. So that is something, if you're not tech savvy and you're time poor and you just want to get it done, that is something that's massive. The other thing that you'll notice in here is you have to draw arrows, and there's a lot more clicking that is required to set up an automation flow, which is basically a message that goes off with a follow-up sequence after it in a 24-hour period. Whereas with LinkDM, it is as literally as coming to flows, and you are literally just clicking create a new flow. You're filling in the details like what you see here. Then you can name them. You can also see where on each step, really basically snapshot view, no confusion, where people could be dropping off and where you might want to improve the sales copy, etc. Now with this here, I can literally come in here, I can click setup, and I can go in and create an automation. If you want to know how to do a simple automation, I'll link the video in the description below. Another thing that I love that is really important to small business owners is the ability to get support. I don't know about you, but have you ever tried to get in contact with ManyChat? It is literally mission impossible to get any customer service from ManyChat. Believe me, I have tried. Unless, of course, you are a big influencer or you're someone who is a big account to them. They literally don't answer messages, and you're just left getting support, what you hope for support from other people, from guessing, from AI. Whereas with LinkDM, they have numerous support options, whether it is that you reach out to them in email, whether you reach out to them on Instagram or Facebook, you can actually get your questions answered in a reasonable time frame without having to just use a support article and pray that you understand what it's talking about. And that is something that differentiates LinkDM big time for me, is the support. Now, in terms of features, this is where you're going to notice a difference, okay? Like both of them on the free plan, you can have posts, reels, Facebook stories, all of that is free of charge. Story mentions is when someone mentions you in their story and you want to send them a message. Maybe you want to send them a collaboration, a link to your affiliate program, or you want to thank them and repost the content if it's something that is like a testimonial. Inbox starters is so easy in LinkDM, and an inbox starter is when someone comes to message you. It's a series of options that they are given. So for someone who has frequently asked questions like what time are you open, for someone who wants DMs in their inbox when they're not on their computer, they can create inbox starters. So you will see I've done a whole separate training on inbox starters as well, and I'll link that in the video as well. and you can get click analytics next post. Now with ManyChat, the options are pretty much the same. The basic level is the same. Where you start to see LinkDM winning is in the actual advanced features. Now here's when you start to have unique features in LinkDM too. So you have the ability to rewind. So when it comes to you put out a post and there's a Instagram glitch where the trigger doesn't go off, as an example, you can click the rewind button and it will send it to all of the people on your list that didn't get the message initially. So that's a massive bonus that you can have. You can have this DM software going off really simply in ads as well. In lead generations to collect email addresses, it is super simple to download and import it into your CRM. So there is just so many different things here and some new things that are coming that allow you to be able to run your business simply. But just looking at the interface and the fact that it is literally click here, fill in the buttons, click save, versus having to come to automations, having to then set up automations, having to then go in and do the whole linking and tagging. For someone who is just using it at a very basic level, this is confusing and overwhelming and requires a lot of templates in order for you to be able to do it fast. So in my opinion, for someone who's not tech savvy, who's time poor, that just wants to get the messages out there, get the information to their customers, but also have inbox messages started with them when they're not on their computer, LinkDM from an ease perspective is so much easier to use. If you want to have much more advanced features and you've got a tech team behind you and you want to be able to do a whole bunch of segmentation and get complicated, ManyChat is the way to go because it does have a ton more features currently than what LinkDM does. But LinkDM is particularly distancing itself from ManyChat because it wants people to be able to have ease to use the software. It's got all the key important features that ManyChat have that are the ones that create the conversions, but it is just so much simpler to use. Now, in terms of direct pricing, as you can see, you have a free level, which gives you access to your last 10 posts. It gives you unlimited posts, the ability to set up automations on posts, reels, and stories. And it also gives you the ability for inbox starters. Now here, you get to remove the branding and you get access to a decent amount of features that allow you to be able to keep in contact and remind people, which increases your conversion rate and your ability to have a warm lead by the time that you get into the inbox. Now, if you look at ManyChat, you'll notice that ManyChat appears to be $4 cheaper a month. However, it scales with the number of people that you have coming in. So the amazing thing about LinkDM is it scales based on the number of DMs that you're sending, not the number of contacts. So with the free plan, you have 1,000 DMs, whereas with ManyChat's free plan, you have up to 1,000 contacts. With the second level, you can send 25,000 DMs. Let's just say you were sending 5 DMs to each person. So that means you basically have 5,000 contacts. That would mean if you were running ManyChat, you would actually notice that you would be paying $45 a month, which is over double of what LinkDM charge. So it's a good indicator if you want to just be able to set up and be able to run and scale at a decent level before you start really adding up. Now, you will also notice with ManyChat, as you do grow, the bigger you grow, the more cost you have with ManyChat. Whereas with LinkDM, you have a higher plan and you can buy extra if you need to at a much different cost to what you would have if you were running ManyChat. So if you sent 3,000 DMs a month, let's just say that was 150,000 people, you would see very quickly how there's a 5x difference between them. So this is something when you start to think about it, when I'm always building, I want to think about what is it going to cost me when I start to scale. in this case, ManyChat has a ton of features, absolutely. But when you start to scale, if you are just a solo business owner whose goal is to get messages started, to lead people to, say, your YouTube, to lead people to your website, to answer common questions, you don't need all the bells and whistles. In fact, it's actually quite confusing for a large majority of people. This gives you the ability to do all the basics, and they're constantly growing the features, but they're doing it in a way that is easy to use, that's practical, that's fast to implement, rather than making it confusion and techie, meaning you need developers and ManyChat professionals. So this is where you can really win in cost, but also in ease and functionality. If you are a business and you are an entrepreneur that really focuses on just getting it out there and then growing it from there, rather than having all of these fancy features that are just not necessary for a solopreneur and a small business owner that just wants to grow their business and doesn't want complicated in their business. The other amazing thing about LinkDM is they have an affiliate program. So this affiliate program allows you to be able, once you have sent a number of messages and you're a pro user, because they want you to actually be using the software and understanding it before you're recommending it, rather than just getting a bunch of spammers on. Now you'll notice that ManyChat do also have a referral program, but it is very complicated to sign up because ManyChat are very focused on influencers and not the standard small person, small business owner, solopreneur. So this gives you the ability to be able to make 30% sales across the first year of everybody that you refer. So it allows you to be able to consistently work towards being able to get your software at either a reduced cost or at basically free, because you earn the money back in affiliate commissions. So I wanted to just bring that up because 30% is actually pretty high, and basically that would mean for customers on the same plan as you at least or higher, being able to paying an annual plan or paying monthly means that your plan is basically for free. So I absolutely love that about LinkDM as well. So that is a very basic rundown on them. They are very, very similar in terms of features, but they are very much different when it comes to ease of use and the ability to scale.